guys. Okay, so what I should have done, right? This is what I should have done. I should have set up my camera. I should have like actually set it up and then brought up all of the questions and then started answering them and make this look more professional, but it's fine. This is how we're gonna roll. I'm going to just hold the camera. It's fine. It's fine. I am, however, going to have to turn the computer because there is a horrible, you guys can see the computer in my glasses. How do people film stuff? Like, what are people doing that are more tech savvy than myself so that they don't have a glare? Anyway, I'm just going to put this in my lap and this is how we're going to do this, okay? And I am so sorry if all you see is the glare from the computer and my glasses. You know what? You know what? I'm not using my phone at present, so I can easily just bring up the questions on my phone. I'm a genius. Oh, okay. So this is a Q&A. Several weeks ago at this point, I believe, I asked you guys on Facebook to ask questions and that I would come in and I would do a Q&A and I would answer some. Obviously, only the ones that I'm comfortable answering, I would answer. So I'm going to do that. I am, unless you specifically stated for me to keep you anonymous, I am going to crop out the questions and I'm going to have them kind of right here. So you guys are going to see the questions and I'm going to try to read them as written. However, some of them are a little bit lengthy, so I might have to shorten a few. All right, so we'll see. All right, so I'm just going to scroll and I have not pre-planned which questions I'm going to answer. So here we go. This question is super simple. This question is from Jen, and she asks, how are the kids doing in school? So Zoe and Piper are still currently homeschooled. We are working on getting them integrated back into the public school system, so that's something we're working on. Aiden is still out of school. He's still being homeschooled. We are also working on getting him integrated back into the public school system. I'm not going to get into all of the nitty-gritty details of that, but just know there is a reason and we are working it out, and everything is fine. And Aiden is doing very well with the like the therapy and everything that he does receive. He's doing very, very well. Narquise is doing fabulous in school. He's doing awesome. He's amazing. His favorite thing in school right now is math. That is what he seems to be the most excited, especially when he gets off the bus in the evenings. All he wants to talk about is the math that he did or the games that he played in PE. PE. He's very specific to say PE. I always said gym class, but all right. So Karen asks, is it hard parenting some children being at one home? Is it hard parenting with some children being at one home and some of them being at the other house? Yes and no. It's hard to have any time away from my kids. Like, I want all of my kids all of the time, but that's not my life right now, and it is what it is. And when you share custody, you have to have time where you don't have all of your children. However, we do make it work really well, and the kids have adjusted very quickly. There's very few issues that we are having at this point, because I see all of my kids every day. Like, I see every kid pretty much every single day. So in that regard, it has been, I don't know how to explain it. So it's been an adjustment and it has not been easy. However, we are now falling into a routine that is working really well, and it's not as difficult as what it was in the beginning, as it is with most things. It's getting tongue twisted, I'm sorry. Let's see. Okay, Morgan asks, I have always wondered, is Aiden learning Braille? As an aspiring Braille teacher myself, I feel that it is important for all blind children who are able to learn so that so that as adults, they can read and write just like everybody else, also being successful in the world. Yes, Morgan, I 100% agree with you. If a child is cognitively able to learn Braille, then it is so, so important for them to do so. Aiden has had introductions to Braille, and he is familiar, getting really Southern, I guess. He is very familiar with the series of dots. However, he does not understand at this point a difference in the lettering or what the meaning of those raised dots are. That is something that we're hoping to work on in the future. Right now, the biggest thing we've been working on is his talk buttons. So he has some varying buttons that say different things, like different foods or different activities that he may want to do. And I'll give him a choice of either 2 or 3 options. And I let him listen to every option so he knows which one is which. And then he'll pick the one that is what his answer is, basically. And we usually do a series of 2 out of 3. So I'll ask him the same question a few times to make sure that the consistency is there and said question is actually his answer. And he understands. He does cognitively understand that, and he answers appropriately. So I do think that him learning Braille in the future is something that is very possible. Let's see. Jeremiah asks, does Keys understand what divorce means? No, he does not understand what divorce means. And we haven't really tried to in-depth explain it to Narkis and Aiden because they don't understand. All they know is that mama lives at this house now and daddy lives at this house, and mom and dad both still love them the same and they get to spend time with both of us. And it's kind of just been more of a change rather than like this whole life upheaval for them. They notice the difference, they definitely notice. And I'm not trying to downplay it or say that it isn't difficult. It is, especially for Narkis. He's used to seeing mama every single day and having mama always be there. So it's been a little bit more difficult on him. So I try to make sure that when I do keep Narkis, I'm keeping him for 2 or 3 nights in a row. So he is feeling like he's still having all of that one-on-one time with me as well as with his dad. Tiffany asks, how is everyone doing and what is everyone's favorite food? That is an awesome, simple, easy question. Everyone right now is doing pretty good. We are all well. Yeah, we're all doing good right now. And favorite food, do you want me to go down all of the kids? Because I'm not sure I know the answer. Narcis's is definitely pizza. That's Narcis's favorite food, and chicken. Pizza and chicken. Aiden's favorite food is peanut butter and honey sandwiches, oatmeal, and he loves yogurt. Yogurt is his favorite. Let's see, who's next? Jack. Jack's favorite food is probably macaroni and cheese, peanut butter and honey sandwiches. He really likes apples. He will eat 5 or 6 apples in a day if you let him. Let's see. Piper's favorite food is butter noodles. Just plain noodles with butter and salt. That is her favorite food. Zoe's favorite food, I'm not sure what Zoe's favorite food is. Zoe likes a vast array of foods. I would probably say Bojangles is Zoe's favorite food. Bojangles is their favorite. What kid is next? I feel like I'm gonna miss a child. Jack's, I already said Jack. Which child have I missed? Oh my goodness, I don't even know. Lyran's favorite food is frozen blueberries, bananas. She loves macaroni and cheese. Lyran kind of eats everything, if I'm being honest. Lyran is just she's a little grazer. She'll eat anything and everything. Let's see. I'm not sure how to say your name, but I'm going to try. So Brona, is that your name? Brona asked, and obviously you guys will see it spelled, so I'm so sorry if I just butchered the pronunciation of your name. It's beautiful though. How is Jack doing, and did he ever get diagnosed with anything, or was it just a little delay with his language? How are you, Aiden, and Narkees coping with the changes? So as of right now, Jack's only medical diagnosis is sensory processing disorder. He does start kindergarten this upcoming August, so I'm really hoping that once he gets started with kindergarten that we will be able to obtain another diagnosis if they believe that one is there. The older that he's getting, the more we're seeing that it could just be sensory processing. A lot of his behaviors and mannerisms are also very common with sensory processing disorder, so that could possibly explain some of them. However, if his teachers at school believe that there needs to be further investigation into a potential autism diagnosis, then we will definitely go through the steps necessary to get that done. Athena asks, has this experience changed your faith or your level of belief at all? If yes, how so? Do you still consider yourself a Christian, aka someone who believes in God or in a higher power? So I'm not going to say a whole lot on this topic because it is something that I am still myself trying to figure out and trying to work my way through. Yes, I still believe in God, 100%. My faith has shifted a little bit, but not necessarily in the direction that you would think. I feel like my faith has gotten a lot stronger in some regards. However, in other regards, such as organized religion and a lot of the beliefs that I used to hold so near and dear to me because that was all that I was taught, I've kind of left a lot of those to the wayside. And I am very much less interested in organized religion. So it's a process for me. I am currently unearthing a lot of religious trauma. Religious trauma is a very, very real thing. I delved into it with a therapist for a little while, and now I'm just trying to dissect a lot of it on my own. I'm trying to, for the first time in my life, read the Bible and learn on my own and interpret it on my own, instead of having a preacher or somebody tell me, oh, here's this verse, this is what this means, without me ever researching it for myself. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think for myself and form my own opinion and my own beliefs. But yes, I still believe in God. I do not hold a lot of the values and beliefs that I did before close to my heart. And there's a lot of them that I no longer believe. But it's a process, you know, it's a work in progress, and we'll see. We'll see where the whole religious thing takes me. But I don't consider myself religious at all. I do not consider myself religious. I consider myself as someone who believes in God, and I believe in a higher power, and I believe in the Bible. Past that, I'm still working on it, and that's the most honest answer I can give you right now. Let's see. Jesse asks, how are you doing with all of the changes that's going on in your life? People tend to focus more on the kids in these situations, but making sure mom is doing all right mentally is just as important. Thank you, Jesse. That's very sweet. It's been really hard. It's been really, really hard. I'm happy and I feel really good in a lot of ways, but it's been really hard. It's been emotionally hard. It's been there's no aspect of this, you guys, that has been easy. I will just say that. This whole last year has just been hell. And there's been a lot of good that's come from this last year. But there's also been a lot of upheaval and a lot of horrible things and a lot of hurt. And not just with me, just a lot of hurt with everybody. And finally being at a point now where I feel like I'm coming up for air and I'm able to breathe a little bit and I'm able to plan my new life. That's really what I'm working on. There's kids playing outside my window, so I'm sorry if you hear children. Okay, Bree asks, how is Aiden? Does he have autism and blindness? And is he blind too? Yes, Aiden is diagnosed with, Aiden's diagnosis is autism and blindness. And Aiden is doing very well. He's doing very well. Kelly asks, what is one place that Zoe and Piper would like to visit if they could go? I know Zoe wants to go to Ireland, New Zealand, Finland, Italy, and I'm not sure about Piper, if I'm being honest. I have not. She would probably want to go down the street to the trampoline park if I asked her. That would probably be her answer. I'm not sure if she has any aspirations of out of country travel, but I could ask her. Okay, so Amy asked a question and I'm going to kind of summarize it because it's a little bit long. However, I will copy and paste the entire question and I will put it right here so you guys can read that. But basically she is asking, was it difficult to separate? How am I coping with the children, not having the children all of the time? Yeah. How did it affect the kids? No, you're leaving the home. So I don't really know how to answer this question. It was hard. It sucked. It was awful. I want all of my kids all of the time. Asa wants all of his kids all of the time. We both want to be around our children, you know. I think the biggest way we have solved this issue is making sure that we are in very, very close proximity. I'm like a minute away from Asa right now. If one of the kids needed me, I could get in the car and be there in less than a minute, literally. And vice versa. So there's been a lot of flexibility and the flexibility has been very, very helpful. I don't feel like I'm leaving a child with their dad and then that child is upset and I can't even go soothe them or console them if I needed to. That option is always there. So that has helped. And once the kids adjusted and realized that this is where mom lives now and this is where dad lives now, and there's no hate, there's no anger, there's no animosity at all between Asa and myself, you know, the kids have adjusted very well. They understand and it's just normal routine to them now and they aren't questioning it as much. So while it's been very emotionally hard on me not being around my kids all the time, my kids themselves have adjusted very, very well. But it's hard and it does suck. And I think any mom or dad would probably tell you the same thing, that not being with your kids all of the time just sucks. Ashley asks, how have your in-laws taken the changes that you have recently made? So I don't feel like that's a question that is my business to share, if I'm being honest. And I was going to answer it, but I feel like it's not a question that's my business to share. Does that make sense? Because I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth and I don't want to talk bad about one person or say something that somebody else said or get it wrong. I just don't think that's a question that I need to be answering. So I'm going to respectfully pass that one by. Emma asks, how is your communication with Asa? You have children that need both parents. It's important to keep open and respectful. I assume she probably meant to put the word communication in there. Do the children, including Keys and Aiden, dealing with 2 homes, and do the children have choices in where they can live? Yes, I'm gonna put the question right here so you guys will see like where I'm struggling a little bit. I know that some of you guys do voice to text, and I think that's awesome, but sometimes it won't get all of the words, so I kind of have to fill in where it misses. So yes, the children have choices. We let the kids pick where they would prefer to be. you know, to an extent. The younger children don't get so much of a choice. Okay. Hello.
You two meet.
I know you're all shy.
You two meet bestie.
Just asked to be on camera, and then I'm like, here you go, and then you're like, oh
Say yes. I wasn't expecting you to say yes.
no. Oh, okay, cool.
Exactly.
Well, there you go. Merry
My
Christmas.
Oh, thanks. It's my birthday Tuesday. You should have just said happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. There you go. All right, out. Let me film.
Ow! Oh my god, this is
That's homophobic.
Hey, I have like 2 questions left to answer, and then I'm done.
Okay, well that's homophobic.
Silly kids. I was in the middle of answering and I heard them come in and I was like, there's no way I can finish this if they're gonna be that loud. All right, okay, back to Emma's question. I'm sorry, you guys. So my communication with Asa is awesome. Asa and I are not fighting. We do not hate each other. Everything with us is fine. We are very open. We are very respectful. The kids literally never see any type of hate or us fighting, or because we don't do that. We just don't do that, you know? Like, we are getting along fine. We are co-parenting together very well. Things aren't perfect. Like, there's always areas we can improve in and work on, but Asa and I's communication is really, really awesome. And I say that genuinely. That's not something that I'm just saying for the sake of YouTube. That is genuinely how it is. I'm getting a lot of you guys asking if Jack has autism, and I did answer that earlier. We just don't know. I don't have a diagnosis, like a medical diagnosis, to for sure say, yes, he does have autism. Samantha asks, who do the kids live with primarily? Zoe and Piper primarily live with me, and the other children are kind of 50-50, just swapped around. Again, it's just a choice thing, as you know, for some of the older kids. Okay, this one was an email. Hi, Kat, please keep me anonymous. Does Asa and your kids and family Does Asa and your kids and family know that you are in a relationship with a woman, and how do they feel about it? I think this is probably one of those people who is from one of the gossip sites, and likes to dig. That's all I'm gonna say. Likes to dig. So I am just going to say this. I have been very honest and open with everybody in my life about that. Does that answer it? Is that good? Yeah, honesty. That's it. Super simple. Those who have nothing to hide, hide nothing, right? True. All right, so we are going to move on. Lauren asks, is Zoe still enjoying art? Yes, very much so. Very, very much so. Hang on. In fact, let me see if I can get your guys' stuff. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys some art.
That one.
Wait, hold on. There's 1,
2.
Whoop. Shh. There's 1. There's one. Where's the third one? You did a third one.
No, there's one. There's a single one.
That's not it. Bro. Well, you can look at those two.
Yeah. There's 1. There's 1. Oh, that one's really good.
Okay, the other one. That's where the issue occurs.
All right, and then we have this one. It's so good. So Amanda asks, any thoughts or feelings about what's going on in Ukraine? It's a scary time. Love from Canada. I have a lot of thoughts. However, I don't believe that this is really the place for me to share some of those thoughts. I will say that it's heartbreaking. makes me cry every day when I watch the news or watch updates or hear from people that are on the ground in Ukraine. It's heartbreaking. And Ukraine is in my prayers and my thoughts, and it's just really hard. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about it for now, but I might do another video and talk a little bit more in depth about it. I'm not sure. Oh, Mary, in a nutshell, can someone please tell me what's going on? Oh, bless. What?
We need to show you the glory. I'm 4 inches taller.
For what? Oh, the shoes? I was like, how did you spontaneously grow? I mean, how small of a shell do you want? Came out as gay. Working through a divorce, moving out, and sharing custody, and now you bring us up to current state. Anyway, it's a lot. I would advise anyone who is super confused to just go back and watch maybe the last couple months worth of videos. There's not a lot, I haven't posted a ton, but it would definitely catch you up and get you up to speed. Jesse asks, how did your kids take finding out that you are a lesbian? Very well, 100% well. It wasn't even an issue. It was an absolute non-issue. And to be honest, it was a non-issue with most people in my life. And that's been amazing. And I feel very blessed to have the love and support that I do, because I really haven't lost anybody. You know, I haven't lost anybody, and I feel very, very blessed in that. So I'm also going to say that while I did read all of your questions, there are a few that like I want to answer them, but they also hit a very, very personal note for me that I'm not quite ready to share. So I'm sorry if some of these questions I seem really vague, or I'm not really going into detail, or if I just didn't answer your question at all, I'm sorry. But just know that I'm working on it, and I'm going to share what I am comfortable sharing. And right now, this is where I'm at. So I love all of you guys. You guys are awesome and amazing. And thank you guys for being loving and supportive and just everything. It's been amazing. And I'm so thankful for you guys. Don't forget, you guys, be you for you. Bye, guys.